for, you can say, from Palo Alto side, first level of
Yeah.
certification. So like
Okay.
all
No,
vendors
no.
have their own certifications. Similar way, Palo Alto has this
Yes,
certification.
yes, yes.
So things which we are going to cover, like first we will little bit theory we will cover related to security. Means you're already working in this domain, so just few theory part we will do. Then we will look into the firewall technologies, like why we need this, because Palo Alto is like a next generation firewall. So we'll see little
Yeah.
comparison like what traditional firewall is and how Palo Alto or next generation firewall which are available in market. So why, what's the advantage they bring us? So that thing we will see, and then we will see a device network configuration. So means kind of a network we will try to simulate in our lab, mostly focus on Palo Alto only. So like how we can use Palo Alto as a L3 device, means we can use to configure Palo Alto for OSPF, dynamic routing, static routing. So mostly static and OSPF routing, they say as per the certification, they as curriculum. So that we will try to configure, and we will see how we can do different parts of configuration. So I mean, we will try to manage like we can create some kind of a setup where reachability we can establish. Then we will have this Palo Alto, means focus will be on Palo Alto firewall in this session, and how we can use this Palo Alto firewall in different criteria for netting purpose, for the security purpose, and how it can work as a L3 device also for our device, our network. Okay, so this all encryption description certificates which we have for our side, how we can manage those certificates through Palo Alto. So like proxy server also we can use our firewall for as a proxy server also, and how it will basically verify that part, like which kind of a sites will be allowed and which type of sites not to be allowed. So that all things we will use in this case. Okay, so service route, like I mentioned, mostly we will cover static routing and OSPF routing scenarios. So like this, we will try to cover, and we will try from my side to cover all this through a practical lab. So at least Palo Alto side of the configuration, I can show you through GUI. Mostly we configure. So yeah, I'm saying like service route we will configure for the OSPF and static routing, and I from my side I will try to cover most of the things through a practical lab. At least configuration how we can do through GUI in our Palo Alto box, so that I can show you. And I will try to bring up a network also, because it's all depend like okay, how because I will try to use a virtual box. So with that VMware, how we can how much big network it can be supported there. Sometimes RAM
Yeah.
issue or packet flow will be get impacted, but I will try my best to make that at least all the setup to be up. Panorama means you're saying like external device there.
No, so the Palo has uses if you have to implement like policies, whatever, you can do that from
Ah,
Panorama.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Here we will use the GUI to implement to apply that policies. We will not have any external box or anything for the Palo Alto.
Okay, that's fine.
So that we will use for the configuration purpose, because normally they support, as per this curriculum, they support this GUI functionality, as and we will obviously we will try to look the route configure that CLI command through CLI also, but mostly we will use that GUI purpose only.
Okay, yeah, Panorama is GUI. It's not CLI, so
GUI
that's
only
fine. Yeah.
we will only use GUI only. That mostly we will use that only.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so I will try to bring up that setup. So then we will do that. Means try to keep most of the topics. Obviously, first introduction we will do theory part. Rest all topic we will try to cover through a practical lab. So just for a demo purpose, we will start with this. What's the security? Mostly you will be aware about it. Just for I'm just maybe some things are which are kind of repeating I am doing here. So just I will
You can
cover.
skip through all these ones. Yeah, I've been in security for almost 10 years, so you can skip through all these. Yeah, initial ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
triple A, all this are, yeah, I know this,
yes, yes.
because the certification is the first as a entry level kind of certification, so that's why this all
Hmm.
topics are part of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so fine. So if you are aware about the CIA triad, so we can look into like what's the firewall, why we need a firewall, and what's the difference it brings with the Palo Alto.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
So firewall, like it's a kind of a network security device. For the security purpose, mostly we use it. Yeah, we can make it as a L3 device also. Means we can do the routing part also in the firewall. But the main function of the firewall is we create a policies, and according to that policy, it will decide whether it will allow that network, or it will not allow that traffic
Mm,
inside the network or outside the network. So it can be both side of the network. It will do. Correct. So that is the main functionality of firewall. Correct. So
yeah.
normally, what happened in a firewall, in traditional firewall? So let's say these people who are working inside some network, let's say, means outside internet network, and this is your company network. If they want to access some of your company website, data center, or some user, they will come through internet. They will check by this firewall. Firewall will simply work on the basis of what's the source, what's the destination. If the source IP and destination IP as per their policy is allowed, so it will allow the traffic. If the source and destination policy is not as per the policy allowed there, so it will deny that traffic. Correct. So that's how traditional firewall work. You will send traffic. Let's say user one want to talk with this user, so it will simply say my source IP is 1.1.1, destination IP is this user IP. Let's say 2226 here. So it will simply check, firewall will simply check is the destination is allowed to interact with this source. If it is allowed, so it will allow. If it is not allowed, so it will deny. So that is first level of firewall thing traditional firewall will do. Correct. Second, it will check what type of services are you trying to do. Let's say user one want to access this server there, but they are trying to access with a port number 443, means as an internet server they want to try to access. But maybe user don't have the access as a internet server www dot, but as a FTP server that access is present for this user. So in that case, firewall will simply check the port number on the basis of TCP port number layer 4. It will allow or deny that packet. That's the only role of firewall there. But what actually the content
Perfect.
it is carrying, what's the information it is carrying inside that mail? Let's say user one want to send some mail to use this user, or user from inside network want to send a mail to user one. So what it will only check the source and means layer 3 kind of information or layer 4 kind of information, but it will not check what actual content is going inside it. But this next generation firewall will have that this much you can say capabilities. They can check what type of contents even going outside the net.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
according to that, it will, I mean, we can create that kind of application. We will see in GUI how we can do that. So it will check like, okay, it's the Outlook mail is going outside, or is it like some company document is going outside. So that kind of information also they can verify, and accordingly it will take action. Okay, you are only allowed to go. For example, this user is allowed to check the user one some internet's website or that. But if they try to send some Outlook mail, so firewall will say, okay, this is some public network, you're not allowed to send a mail outside your from your private network to the public network, so it will simply deny. So in that case, it's not only on the basis of
Perfect.
layer 3 and layer 4, it will also check the layer 7 kind of application also, it will check. So on the basis of application also, we will allow or deny. Okay, sometimes you see in your company they will allow you to access the internet, but they will say, okay, will not able to access, for example, Gmail or Facebook. You will not able to allow, but you can allow to check the Facebook chat. Maybe you are not allowed, but Facebook Reels or Facebook page you at least allowed to check. So that kind of a things also available in this firewall, next generation firewall. You can block this Facebook chats you can block, but Facebook page you can able to open. You can block Gmail, but you can still able to open the other websites related to internet. So as per depend, because some teams inside a company may work as a R&D teams or testing team or development teams. So those team required Google access because they need to search something on the internet. So in that purpose, they may allow you to check the Google for the search purpose, but they will not allow you to access any other sites like Facebook or Gmail, Yahoo, all this. So that kind of also you can say filters are allowed in this next generation firewalls. So that you can see,
Perfect.
can consider as a one level advantage will get with these new firewalls like Palo Alto. Fine. So this is like how we will see that part. So here you can see source IP is 1.1. It try to reach this destination. It will simply create this policy like if it is through a port number 80, which is HTTP. your site is through HTTP, it is allowed. If it is from this source to this destination, again it is allowed. But if any other source or any other destination it try to reach, so it will deny. I mean, they will allow to check the company websites or company server, but if they try to access some employee inside a company as a phishing mail, you can say, or something like that, they try to attack. So this firewall will simply deny it. They will say, okay, only HTTP we are allowed. If you try to send some other thing via HTTPS, so we will not allow you. So that kind of thing, or they try to send you a mail or anything, so it's simply denied. So that's how a traditional firewall will do it. Okay, so this kind of a, maybe you have also seen this kind of a policies we have configured in our Palo Alto thing. Okay, so now means here is this is like some legitimate users are there, some means they have created any source can reach to this server. So in this case, because this is your public site, some contents which are available, it's for public purpose only. So you can't match each and every user here. So here we are saying any source can come and they can try to access our website. But in this case, some attacker also, a malicious user also can make not only like attack on your server, maybe they will do a DDoS kind of attack, so that your server will not be available for the public purpose. They will keep your server so much busy, with so much TCP request and sync message will be there, so your server will not able to handle the legitimate traffic in that case. So that kind of a things will not be helpful in the traditional firewall, so which we can do in this new generation firewall. We can help to protect that part also. Okay, so these are why we need this next generation firewall, or why we need this Palo Alto firewall. So this is like a needs we explained here. So we will create a dashboard, or you can say we will create that setup, and then whenever have your first day, if you want, we can repeat this. But it's a theory. We will start from a dashboard part only. If you want more practical work in this case.
No, yeah, we can just start from the dashboard. All this I know already, so good.
Yeah, I will. I mean, whenever you have your first day of session, we will start from dashboard. I will show like different things in the dashboard, how we can use that things, and we can create those things. If you have any doubt, I will try to answer those. If anything, I feel like it's a new thing, I will try to get that information. We will can discuss that part.